Okay, let's call to order Town Lloyd Board Workshop Meeting for August 2nd, 2023. We'll open with Mr. Councilman Frano lead us in Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to start tonight's, is that echo? Can we close that door in there?
You got an echo from the...
Oh, Jimmy's got it. Okay, thank you, Jim. Okay, we're going to start with a proclamation. Whereas August 21st, 2023 is National Senior Citizens Day, and whereas our senior citizens deserve every benefit due to them by reason of their age, service to the community, state, and nation, and they are the forefathers of this generation and past generations. Now, therefore, I, David Plapchak, Supervisor of Town of Lloyd, Ulster County, do hereby recognize August 2023 as Senior Citizens Month in the Town of Lloyd and ask all citizens to give them the honor they justly deserve. And just as a note, the Supervisor's annual Senior Citizens Breakfast will be Thursday, August 24th from 9:30 a.m. to 11 o'clock at Bob Shepherd Highland Landing Park.
I'd just like to comment, I think that's terrific, and our seniors, we can't do enough for them, so that's terrific. I just want to make a note that I didn't know about this date. I wasn't conferred with, and I do have a commitment for training on that date. So I love our seniors, and nothing more can be. I wish I could be there, but I just wanted to make a note that I will not be there.
Thank you. Okay, reports. We're going to move forward with, I know Dave had to leave today, so he's not here. I know he sent out his report. It looked like a good revenue month for the building department this month. And I asked him if there's anything else key, and there is not. So we'll move forward to dog control. I saw Andrew here. Is he going to present? Or
He left.
He left already.
Gotta
Okay.
The report's there.
Probably had a, so we got his report. Again, just as he mentioned, some of the hot days ahead, so just be careful with your dogs on the asphalt concrete surfaces specifically. Is Rich here? Okay, we'll catch up if he... Up. Is he up repaving your road again? Yeah, he's been out, I don't know if he'll show up or not, but I know he paved Upper North Road, and he paved, Red Top was the other one.
Upper North, and-
Yeah, and I know there's a
Dump
couple
Road.
others on the schedule. I think Picnic Woods Road, and he's going to pave Reservoir Road too, because he's been talking to Carol Russo about giving him an opening to get his trucks through. So if he comes, we'll get him. You can see Joan's report on the historian activity. I think she sent it out to everybody. We'll move on to Chief Janso.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
July 2023 police activity. Calls to service, we had 1,127 calls, 31 accidents, 5 were personal injury, 26 were property damage. The department issued 51 tickets for the month, 2 parking tickets and 49 uniform traffic tickets. We had 17 arrests. 3 of the major events we handled were the July 1st town fireworks. They were a great success. We had all our manpower on there. July 4th was the Walkway Independence Day fireworks. Again, that was one of our bigger days. And then the Downtown Business Association block party on July 22nd. We patrolled all that. 2 other things I just want to mention. We applied today for, it's a agency called Defense Logistics Agency. It's through New York State and DCJS. And we apply to it, we'll be able to get free military or police equipment from them. So once we're accepted, we'll be able to get some, hopefully, other equipment we can use. And also, it's been 30 years, but our bike patrol is up and running, hopefully by the end of this month. Mark Lee is going to be taking our bikes that we've had on hold for a couple of years, cleaning up, doing a safety inspection on them. We do have 3 officers who are trained as bike patrol officers. So as soon as the bikes are ready to go, they'll be on the rail trail sporadically during the weekends and holidays to show a presence and hopefully address some of the concerns up there. We also had the ATVs up there.
And are they joining with what the sheriff's doing on the rail trail?
We're not going to be with them. They're doing the rail trail, but they have the whole county.
Right, they have the whole county, right.
So they'll be down at some point.
Okay.
We just don't know when. But we'll have ours up and running.
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
Anybody have questions for the chief?
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.
Richie is here, he's just getting out of his truck.
Okay, we'll get back to Richie.
Oh, Adam.
Wendy, you have anything for us to say other than your town report? Okay.
I really don't. July's a slow month for us, and we use the time to clean out files and get our projects done.
Okay.
Wendy, quick question. I'm not meaning to put you on the spot. How are we doing with taxes? I heard that we're not doing well. The
We
collection.
turned our taxes over June 1st.
How deficient were we?
We actually did not bad. I put it in the report, didn't I? The comparison in the
I
last
think it was in last month's report.
workshop, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember the number off the top of my head, but it was on the,
It was similar
agenda.
or a little less than last year where you were.
Yeah.
At the point.
it wasn't nearly as bad as the beginning of the
Because
month
you
was
were
showing.
It looked like it was going to be pretty bad, so it wasn't that
We were a
bad.
little nervous, but it actually came out to about what it should have been.
Okay, great, thanks.
Right, good. Adam, why don't you give us your report, and if Richie walks in, we'll catch him.
Good afternoon, Adam Whitman, Administrator for Time and Lloyd Water and Sewer. It's been pretty busy. I don't have a lot to report as far as water and sewer, but River Water was making up 90% of daily production. Of course, the other 10% coming from the wells. Our production time has been varying between 10 and 12 hours per day. It's been varying more towards the high side because of river turbidities and the rain we've gotten in the last month or so. Very sporadic. Our road crew has been on site for many of the projects, Tilson Avenue, Vineyards. They're preparing the site for the new tank. They had also had the assistance of the Highway Department to do a lot of brush cleanup and cutting and trimming around all of our reservoirs. It looks really great. That crew still continues to flush and do sewer inspections. They are probably 85 to 90% complete on the entire collection system of the town over the last 2 years.
That's good.
Sewer department, operations are going very well. Paul Fresh still continues to cross-train at the water plant. I guess some of the things that I'd really like to talk about are some of the updates. One of the things that we're doing for the Tilson Avenue project, we actually began running reservoir today. We're going to continue to do until next Wednesday. That gets us off of the river intake, the lines, and all that other type of stuff. A. Calaruso's the site contractor. They're going to make the new raw line connection points over the course of Thursday and Friday. They should have that completed. Then they're going to move on to the 12 and 18-inch connections in that area. We're not going to start pumping on the river again until next Thursday. We're allowing them the extra time to complete those projects. Villages, Corewood Ventures, they're the site contract that's up there. They have completed the sewer extension along 9W South. It's in service. They have begun the water extensions in that area. They're also doing a very good job with that. We've been on site there a lot. One of the updates that I had requested was for a mobilization date. We believe that Arnold Construction for the 2 million gallon tank should be here, not this Monday, but the following would be the 14th. So we're getting some last minute things touched up there and getting ready for that project to kick off. And we should have 3 or 4 all on our plate at the same time. So it's been fun. Any questions?
No, I don't. It sounds like all the pump stations, you had something you got for the one at Ortega's. That was just a new motor, right?
Mike Ortega's. So that is a small capacity pump station.
Right.
What happened about 4 or 5 weeks ago now, one pump had gone down, a second one went down. We think it may have caught a surge or a lightning strike, so we lost 2 at once. We had a third, which is mildly different from the other ones. We put that in place, it's chugging away. One of them has been sent out for a rebuild, so that's been sent to Henry Schreck over in Poughkeepsie. They're very busy. That pump is still, I'm hoping to get returned. I have placed the order for the quotation that I sent out. Thank you for your support. That's almost an $8,000 pump by the time we get it in. I've actually ordered that pump from Pump Services of Troy. They were the contractor that sold the original pump station and pumps to us, so they're very familiar with the cut impellers and total dynamic heads. There's a whole bunch of different things that go on with that pump station, so they are going to supply us with a pump, motor, and impeller in the exact.
And are you going to do the degreasing thing that you did at the one at Bridgeview at some point?
I don't think that needs to be done at that pump station.
Okay.
We are taking it into consideration for the Hudson Hills. So there is two sewer pump stations on Hudson Hills. There's one on Mayor and there's one at the bottom. My intention is to add degreaser to one that pumps to the other and then aerate the second one.
Okay.
I think that'll be pretty good. I haven't requested, we know how much the catalyst is. That's approximately $250 for a 5-gallon pail. It can last 6 or 8 weeks. I suppose it would last much longer in these pump stations because they're very small.
Okay.
I think that would be a good measure. I've got other things that I have to get quotes for. We're actually down one of the pumps at the wastewater plant. We just purchased the motor several months ago. Now the pump itself is bad. I have to get that quotation to you for review. It's rather expensive. So that's on my radar. So I'm kind of trying to save that money to get that done.
Okay.
So,
Thank you, Adam. Good
Thank
job.
you.
I know you
Thanks,
guys
Adam.
keep him busy.
you're welcome.
Okay, Mr. Klotz, since you showed up, how you doing? And you have a happy customer here.
Richie, I'd just like to say thank you for coming, because I know you have a very busy schedule doing our roads, so thank you for taking time out to come.
Yes.
thanks.
Yeah, I know our town lawyer's happy about Upper North Road.
Now we gotta get the guy to fix his driveway and stop the dirt from washing out. So, yeah, we're just about done with our first round. Around August, we gotta hit Reservoir Road, and I'll try to top some of these roads that we patched up, so.
Weren't you doing Picnic Woods too, or is that?
That's good. I shimmed that a little bit to
Okay.
screw it out, then we'll chip seal that, but that's gonna
Okay.
take time. Had a little trouble with the transfer station road. We had some heavy rains come in and did us in. So we'll get that fixed up within a couple of weeks. All right. You had your lights came in, whoever ordered your street lights,
Yeah, that's the
Right,
one that
the
got
pole
knocked
and the
over at
heads.
Memorial Day.
they're out there,
So, good, thank you.
All right. Any word on your posts yet, your columns?
No, no word, nothing yet.
All right, so,
Could be any day.
huh?
Should be any day, I would think, based on what his estimate was.
Yeah. So, believe it or not, we did the 2 longest roads in the whole town this year, so. It's a lot of money.
Yeah, now Jim will get all the complaints about speeding.
Oh, yeah. Especially on Upper North Road, that's like a landing strip now,
Yeah,
so.
all right.
All righty, anything else?
Nothing here, Rich, I appreciate it.
Just let me know when the
Okay.
stuff comes in and we'll get going on these other little projects.
Yeah, I'll get a hold of Bragg tomorrow about the light, the one that needs to go back on Milton Avenue.
All right, before I start my paving again. Because I'm about 4 weeks behind on everything, so.
Okay,
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Thanks, Rick.
thank you.
Okay, Frank, Recreations and Buildings and Grounds.
All right, we'll start with Tony Williams. Still busy. Right now, youth football started this past Monday. We also had New Paltz Softball League was using the field on Monday because of the county fair. So we had a big crowd there Monday. And on the weekends, we still have games and parties going on, so it's busy. A week ago, Thursday, we lost power, and when it came back on, the internet was shot, and as well as the UV system for the water. So we replaced that system, and then Optimum came and changed out the modem and all that stuff, and they felt that it was probably hit by lightning or whatever. But that was taken care of last week with the water, so we were without the bathrooms over that weekend and part of Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday of last week.
Do we need to put a surge protector on that?
I don't know, that'd probably be for Adam. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that was the case, but I mean, it was 2009 it was put in.
Oh.
And then when we were looking for a part, the parts were obsolete.
So we had to put a new one in?
We had to put a new one in.
Okay.
And that was
All right.
taken care of.
We should just check with them just to see if, because it was lightning, it would be didn't hit, the lightning didn't hit that, it had to be electric.
Right.
Get it knocked out, so we should check and see if the surge protector would help out there.
All right, we'll find that out.
All right, thank you.
What we got here? Oh, downtown in the town field. Also with that storm, 3 trees came down, 2 of them by the backstop. One was kind of near where the bleachers are. Bakers came in the next day, got rid of all 3 of them. They're gone. Youth soccer's been using that field for the last month or so, a couple nights a week. But in a couple weeks, that'll start being used by lacrosse, youth soccer, and then the town soccer, the school soccer will pick up in September. Berry Ann Park, we were ready to do the pickleball lines yesterday, and when I opened up the box Monday night, it was white, not yellow. If it's not here today, it'll be here tomorrow. We will get that taken care of. There has been some vandalism going on up there. I've been doing this since '99, and I was part of the rec commission before that. And from '99 until now, we really didn't have a lot of issues up there. But this year, we've got hit a couple times. We had to change a lock into the lifeguard office 3 times this year. Nothing was taken. They just went in and just wanted to, I guess, vandalize something. But we did talk about possibly some lights, some cameras at different parks and different areas throughout the town. So when time comes, I'm available. Swimming, I talked to Chris Hammond. We're going to go to August 20th with swimming, and then after that, we'll close it up. We're going to lose some staff after that. So originally, I think we were going to stay to the 13th, so we'll stay 1 more week, and then we'll go shut it down from there.
Frank,
How-
can I just ask you a question on that? So this is the longest we've ever kept it open, correct? Normally.
The 13th is usually, that Sunday is usually when we shut it down. And then, I believe last year and a couple other years, we did weekends to Labor Day. But it became a staff issue because we had some of those, I'm only talking 6 or 7 days, but there was days I didn't have staff.
Right.
So we had to put signs up saying, no swimming unless lifeguards on duty. There's no lifeguards, so you shouldn't be swimming.
How much use is it getting from swimming this year? Has it been?
It's down from what it was in the past.
That's what I
Now,
thought.
is that
Okay.
because of the road? I really don't know.
That's what I was my question.
I really
Okay.
don't know.
All right.
Downtown, now with the Gator, we do have a 60-gallon tank on there. We've been watering 3 or 4 times a week. It's not a long process because we really don't need to fill the tank up downtown. It's filled up at Tony Williams. We'll take the rail trail down, and it's been going good. They've been hitting the flower pots as well as the flowers in front of the fountain.
I know between all the cleanup, I know that yourself and Richie did and all the plantings, that the town looks nice right now. The town, if you walk through town, it looks pretty good, so.
Black Creek, I had a meeting with Mike Bikakis there with the kiosk, the sign, and I met with him and as well as 2 people from Scenic Hudson. So they're in the process of finalizing the sign.
Okay.
Summer fun, revenues, I know now are over $30,000.
Yeah.
With that said, we're going to have to talk about that at some time before the budget because the cost, 2 different costs, one being minimum wage is $14.20, and also the cost of the trips and supplies, everything is a lot higher than what it was, 4, 5, 6 years ago. But I'll probably next month I'll have an idea of where exactly we're at and go from there.
And that ends Friday, correct?
It ends on this Friday. We did 6 trips on Fridays. Well attended. This week we'll wrap up with the fair.
Good.
And then I know we mentioned, Wendy and I and Margaret, we talked about the lawn care contract, which we're hoping to get out between now and probably September 1st for the next 3 years.
It ends this year, right?
That ends this year.
Okay, yeah. So we got to rebid it. Okay. Anybody have questions for Frank?
Good.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Frank.
Thank you, Frank.
Okay, I think that was the last of the reports. Would you go to old business? Just another update on Tilson Talk. Adam already mentioned they're going to cut over the water Thursday and Friday. That's a big deal because utilities were a big deal in that intersection. So it's good to see them get that done. I think they still have some sewer lines to add to it. And then I believe they're going to start the footings for the piers, and they estimate setting the piers in mid-September. So once the piers are set, then it's building the road, which is, I mean, roads aren't that hard to build once you have the piers set. So hopefully that stays on track as it is. Pavilion, just another update we did. I think I sent you all the letter, but just to make sure we announced this letter, because I know that the county announced that we did receive the $100,000 grant from the Ulster County ARPA committee that we can use towards the pavilion. So we have that now. So now we have 225 between the 125 from Assemblyman Jacobson and that 100K. So I think that's good news. Okay, any other old business that I didn't bring up? Okay, on to new business. And Sean, why don't you kind of introduce what this is? Because you.
I just got an email, a text from Jason Meyer.
Okay.
So he says, yeah, closed road on the way here somewhere. But really, you sit over here in a couple minutes. But it's just basically, they're looking to do, it's Hepworth Farms, they call themselves. Hepworth Ag Inc. is looking to sponsor an event. It's a cannabis grower showcase. Apparently, it was when they passed the recreational use, a lot of people got into marijuana, the cannabis business, and grew a lot of cannabis. There's not that many outlets to sell it, so the states approved these showcases where they have events and they can sell it on site. There are regulations, just like anything with alcohol, they have to abide by. But they to have it, they're looking to have it in November now. They're shooting for September, but they're looking for November now. What they're looking to do is to have it, they have to get approval of the Office of Cannabis, State Office of Cannabis Management, and they need a letter of basically approval from the town. You're not really issuing a license or anything, but you're basically telling the state that you have no objection.
Okay. So we'll wait for them to get here then.
Sean, just a quick question. If it's on the Highland property, then he needs to get our approval, but if it's not on the Highland property, he doesn't.
I had my secretary look on the county website, and I was going to ask Jason, the address he gave me was 250 Birch Road. My secretary said on the state parcel viewer, there's a 246 246 Birch Road, which is owned by Minor Farms.
Right.
But that is within the town of Lloyd.
Right, that one is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so I don't know about 250, I'm
Okay.
assuming it's the same one, because 250, she said was, maybe they rent 250, I don't know.
Well, we'll find out when we get there.
But 246, which has to be right next door,
Is
the
down
of
low.
Lloyd.
I know most of Herds Road was, so.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go on to the motions. Let's go on to,
No, I have some new business.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
So one new business I have is the website. So we have 2 websites up. Is there a need for 2 websites?
What do you mean two websites?
Because I'm hearing that people are going to one website for information and the old website's still active.
For what? The
The
town
old-
Lloyd?
So, yeah, so the old website's not active.
We only have one website. We've never had
I
two.
was given this information, I heard that goes up. And then the other thing, I have a new business, I want to thank Sean Murphy for looking into potential wrongdoing by Councilor John Frano with,
Can I interrupt? Sorry. So going back to that, Rail Trail has an old website that still probably pops up.
Okay, so
They have a new website and an old website, so it's
Maybe that's
probably
what
Rail
people-
Trail
okay.
Association. Yeah.
Thanks, Wendy.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sean, I want to thank you for looking into what I referred to about John Frano, the councilman, and a contract with his wife's company for a potential violation of our code. When you looked into it, you found that, in fact, he did violate town code, and your recommendation was for Mr. Frano to go in front of the Ethics Board. I would like to have you pursue that, please.
Okay, well, my recommendation was for the board to refer it to the ethics board for their opinion on it. So like I said, I did say there was a violation, like.
But that's not the procedures. Anyone can write something and send it. And when you and I spoke, I said I can just write it and send it to ethics, and you said, no, just bring it up and then we'll send it.
Oh, no, yeah.
The board,
Any town employee, officer, can send it. If you want me to forward my.
Yes, I would like you-
I will to the ethics board.
right,
I can do that.
and for them to look into the case. Thank you.
Anything else? Anything else? Okay, I think Mr. Minard showed up, so, Jason, you want to tell us what you're looking for?
Jason Reiner, presenting today on the New York Farmers Showcase event.
Yeah, you're going to have to talk into the mic once you're done there, handing that out. Thank you.
Hey, Jason, quick question when you hand it out. I know you got a bunch of properties. The event's in the Lloyd property, or is it in the non-Lloyd property?
It's Lloyd property.
Okay, thanks.
250 Herds Road, Clintondale, New York. So the idea was there was a glut of cannabis supply in the New York market. There was only 12 stores open when this initiative started. We went on CBS News to move the dial and get the Office of Cannabis Management to entertain the idea of farmers selling direct through conditional adult use retail dispensaries. Everything will be monitored, taxed. The Office of Cannabis Management delayed, but finally did issue the guidance. And as a matter of law, now municipalities can participate and farmers can sell direct. So the idea here is you have to have an organizer of these events, which can either be an adult use conditional cultivator, which in this case will be Hepworth AG, Hepworth Ag, Amy and Gail Hepworth, and the associated event where the venue will be held will be Minard's Family Farm, an agritourism operation in Clintondale, New York, in the municipality of Lloyd. There will be vendors, which will be conditional cultivators, and adult use processors will also be able to participate. Attendance will be limited to folks that are 21 and up. And if you go through the deck here, it outlines that we will have full security on site, insurance, ambulances. We have more than enough parking to accommodate. It's an ideal location to bring the whole industry together at a time when it's in dire need of something of this magnitude. The idea is farmers helping farmers, and basically it's an emergency stopgap measure that's been initiated by the state to help the farmers, the cultivators, who were encouraged to grow after they grew hemp. Only the hemp growers were granted cannabis licenses this year in the first 2 years of growing. So on top of the big loss in hemp, then they went out and spent a significant sum of money in terms of fencing, security, etc., genetics, and there's no place to sell it. So here we are. I'm happy to answer any questions. Why we're here today is we'd like to hold an event on November 4th. It's a Saturday from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. And that's not locked in, so open to any suggestions and like to take questions at this time.
And you have to get, the state has to issue a license for this event?
That's correct. So municipal approval is the first step here. So why we're here today is for a letter of support from the municipality for Hepworth AG to be what's called the organizer of the event. They will be in charge of the cultivators that will have booths that will sell through the retail dispensaries. And we have a sponsor called Dutchie, who's the national leader in POS, point of sale, in the cannabis industry. And they will be sponsoring the event and helping us facilitate a successful event.
Jason, they'll actually be using the product?
Pardon?
They'll actually be using the product or just buying the product?
Just buying.
They
The
can't
guidance,
use the
they
product.
cannot consume on site.
So Jimmy, thinking about that, all these people, going to be a large turnout. Do we need a bigger police presence that day? Are you, How many people are you expecting to be at this?
Originally, the goal was, we've had interest from promotional companies from New York right through to Vegas. Now, I'm thinking more of a scaled-down version due to the state's delay. So I would say 3,000, 3,500 people.
In one day? That's all one day?
One day, and it's scattered throughout, 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. There'll be music, and it's a large property. There'll be about 20 acres dedicated to the event. And, folks won't be crowded. And the parking, we knocked out more apple trees, so the parking's significant,
And what do you average, for, like on a pick your own day, how many people come out for that?
Columbus Day weekend, we easily accommodate 3,000 people.
That's, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Wendy.
Any tickets in advance or just?
Yes, the premise will be tickets in advance, radio advertisements, and whatnot.
Sean, if we were to support this and somebody did get in an accident, they actually used the product even though they're not supposed to, does that open us up to any type of liability because we're supporting this venue?
Well, anybody can file a claim against the town, saying that the town supported or allowed it to happen and so forth, but I don't see any real liability. In our letter of support indicates that we're supporting that we have no objection to it, we're supporting it, that we expect the organizers to provide security, parking, and security.
And liability, right?
To enforce the no use on site.
There will be signs to that effect, no consumption on site. To add to that, there's insurance in place for the farm. There'll be a separate umbrella and policy for the organizer, and our insurance agent out of Manhattan who's spearheading a lot of these events statewide, will be
Sean,
advising as to the policies.
can we have police officers on the property to make sure that people aren't smoking on the property? But if Jason invites us in and allows it, because that's the only concern I have is people smoking on the property. And even though you have security, they're not going to have enough bite to say you can't do it. My concern is if somebody smokes it, leaves the property, and gets in an accident and fatality, or that's my concern. Especially 3,000 people, it could be a recipe for disaster.
I mean, you could equate it to somebody going to a bar.
Right.
Or somebody, somebody had an event at the Church Bazaar, drinking beer, somebody, same thing. Somebody drinks too much at Church Bazaar and leaves. Doesn't necessarily mean the town's going to be liable for it.
And in fact, there's less liability because at a bar they are consuming. Here, they will be monitored not to consume. There'll be signs not to consume. There'll be
If somebody
security.
does consume, what are you going to do?
At this point, if you're insinuating that we should escort them off the property.
I'm not insinuating, I'm asking you. So you're going to have signs people not consume. You're telling them they can't consume. If people start to smoke it, what are you going to do?
Well, I have a PA system, so the first step I would take is make an announcement over the PA system that consumption is not permitted at the state-authorized events, that I was given a license by the State Office of Cannabis Management to hold the event. And in fact, Senator Hinchey is in support of this specific event and will likely be speaking at the event. So I think consumption will certainly be discouraged in that regard, and the Office of Cannabis Management will likely have a booth at the event due to the nature of what we're setting up to do.
So I assume on the license you get from the State Department of Cannabis, it would state on there that there's no consumption?
Absolutely,
So if you
David.
violate that, they would most likely pull your license, I would think.
That's correct.
Is this a one-time deal, or is this a continuation?
This is a one-time event that we're being authorized for. The guidance does allow for continued events.
I would think they'd be
We're
able to
just
do them in the
applying
future
for
if they
one.
wanted, but-
I can't hear.
Yeah.
To your point, David, there's attestations when we do submit to the state where you
Okay.
swear under oath
Okay.
that you're going to follow all the guidelines in the guidance.
So this is a one-time event, and if you wanted to do it again, you have to come back to us again, or you don't need to come to us anymore after that?
Come back to you.
You're approving one event right now.
So can we
Yeah,
put it,
so
can we
we're
put,
gonna-
if we did give the letter, Sean, can we put that, we're only doing this for this one time only, and then any future? I want that spelled out
I
because,
think I think the letter should say November 4th only of this year.
The letter does say,
Yeah.
the letter provides that it's a one-time event, the date, the location,
Right.
the sponsor's license number, and so forth. And if it is a recurring event, the letter provides that you're supposed to include that it's a recurring event, but that's not applicable in this case. So you're approving a one-time event.
Okay.
And Jason said at this point, it's scheduled at this point for November 4th. If that changes, we'll have to figure out how to address it. Right now, the
As it likely will not change because I'm accommodating the guidance.
Well, I'd say if the date changes, he has
but
to come back
if
and
it
ask for
rains, you
another
still have
letter.
the same.
Right.
Well,
rain-
the rain date would be November 5th, Sunday. The guidance, 21 and up, so bottom line is, I don't want it to interfere
You have the letter
with the
there?
Apple agritourism operation, so it will be officially closed as of that weekend. That's why we're holding it in November. I wanted to hold it the first weekend before we opened, but the state delayed.
Jason, I like your idea, and I'm a little concerned, though, if they smoke on the property, how you're going to handle that, and that I'm not too clear on. I don't think a PA, if somebody starts smoking and saying, hey, stop smoking, is really going to do much of anything.
I would agree with that, so that would be the first step. You asked how I would handle it, that'd be the
And
first
I
step.
don't want you to go, what I'm thinking about is,
Yes.
Jimmy, is there any way, I know you can't be there, is that you can meet with Jason and give him some ideas, or talk to him about,
It's a non-criminal, it's a civil, as far as smoking, that's not criminal, it's a civil.
so then what's going to stop people from doing it? If it's another criminal,
The only thing you can do is you're in a criminal property, refuse leave, and you get the trespass.
I could institute a no smoking policy on the property, and if it's private property, just like in any bar where there's no smoking, if there's no smoking and it's private property and it's pursuant to private property rules, you can absolutely be escorted off the property. You don't have an absolute right to smoke wherever you want.
The
That's
other
true.
thing is, like Dave said, if this is going to be sanctioned by the state, and the rules and regs are that there's no smoking, so if there is smoking, and the state finds out about it, it's going to hit that.
It's going to hit your
Fine,
license,
Sean,
right?
the state can pull your license, and then you risk the big picture.
Right.
What you got in this for. This is just to recoup losses from this year. It's a stopgap measure that ends January 2024. The events cannot continue. Most municipalities are moving forward. Events are taking place. And what we will have the benefit of is learning from those events and watching what takes place. But bottom line, to answer your question, Joe, no smoking on the property.
are we voting on this tonight?
Which question?
Are we voting on this tonight? No, right?
We're hoping to vote on it tonight.
What I'd like to recommend is, can we table this, notify the landowners adjacent, invite them back down here, and have Jason come back and tell them what the event is, so we get input, a public hearing on it? This way, we get input from our community members. I
personally am not in favor of having a public hearing on this. It's a pretty straightforward license. I mean, we should make.
It's a important decision.
Right.
I mean, I think it's a little time sensitive, because as Jason said, this is the first prong of the process. They need this to go to the state to get the. We won't make the
Application deadline by the state.
What's that?
If it's tabled, we won't meet the timeline by the state to get it facilitated and promoted, even in November.
Right, I think what happened was, they were waiting for the guidelines to come out. By the time the guidelines come out, now they're time pressure to actually get the application in to hold the event. And this is the first step in that.
I mean,
I mean,
I'm
this-
fine with notifying people that this event's going to happen, or he should notify them, really.
Sure,
And
absolutely.
If they have a complaint, they can come talk to us, but.
And I mean, there's been, we've been on CBS News regarding the issue. It's a statewide issue. There's destigmatization. I understand your concern.
But I don't think it's
Joe.
up to us to have a public hearing unless we require a special use permit.
I'm saying this,
which we don't.
notifying the owners that we're going to
Yes,
talk about
Joe.
this.
You
And
said other communities have had events or?
They're in the process. New Paltz has authorized handful of events. I think one or two have taken place pursuant to the insurance agent I'm in discussions with.
I think Newport's is approved.
New Paltz had it?
They're approved. They haven't had it yet, to be honest.
No community has had it yet, because the guidelines just.
Guidelines just came out, yeah.
I believe there's been one or two, to be honest. A lot of people have jumped the
they came out
gun.
in June.
Like, there was going to be one at Bethel, and I said, there's no way. It was the week after the guidance came out. I said, how are you going to get municipal approval and get your application into the state? But Sean's exactly right. It's very time-sensitive for it to work, and we would ask for the town to support the initiative and the efforts on behalf of Hepworth and Minard.
Okay, anybody have any other questions for Jason?
No,
Joe,
thanks.
I have no problem with you with me, about any kind of issues you may have.
Thank you
Okay.
very much, sir.
Appreciate that, Jim. Do we don't have a resolution, do we do a verbal one?
Very resolution, I would just say, do a resolution approving the signature.
Okay, so-
and signing a letter of support.
So-
for the-
Right, so can I get a motion to sign the letter of support for the cannabis showcase at Herd's Farms at 250 Herd's Road, Clinton down the town of Lloyd for November 4th, 2023? Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Can we have a discussion?
Yeah, sure.
Providing everything from the state and/or whatever.
We will, providing he has his license from the state and he meets everything.
Correct.
Meets the contents of, that's actually on the letter.
Absolutely.
And Jace-
And in fact, we'll submit the attestations to the town of Lloyd, so everyone's
Okay.
comfortable.
My recommendation, though, to you is, if somebody has the event before you, maybe touch base with them, see what went smoothly for them, what they wish they would have done differently. So,
Absolutely.
because you don't want to be, you don't want to be the first one to do it, and then they're calling you.
No, I mean, that's the benefit of it. There's going to be events. There's events this weekend, next weekend. New Paltz is recurring events at a specific property. That's the benefit of holding it in November. We've already been in publications. We wanted to be one of the first and be a benchmark for the state as to how to roll it out. I mean, I'm the general counsel for Hepworth Pura, and trust me, there's no way that we're going to violate these regulations. With our license on the line, with the value of the company, and what's at stake.
So the state doesn't allow them to smoke, or you're not allowing them to smoke?
The state, you can smoke legally, you can smoke marijuana now where you can smoke. Pursuant to the guidance issued for this particular initiative, there's no consumption. Whether it's gummies, whether it's smoking, there's zero consumption. And you sign under oath, you swear under oath as the license holder that you are not going to permit consumption.
So the risk is you lose your license.
You can lose your license, yes.
I honestly, I think that
Is your
that's
property?
unfair. That's
current-
unfair. It's unfair that they're doing that to you, because to stop them from even the gummies, how are you going to control that?
You know,
Is your property currently non-smoking when you're open for,
yeah, you know, during season, it's kid-friendly, but we don't permit smoking.
So you're used to enforcing that?
Yeah, we'll enforce the status quo. Thank you, John.
Any other discussion? Joe,
I mean,
Lenny, John, any other discussion?
All good.
Want to do a roll call then?
Cool. Farino?
Yes.
Plavcheck? Akmoody?
yes.
Mazzetti?
Explanation before I vote. Jason, I commend you and take initiative to doing this. I don't believe the state itself has thought this out thoroughly, because for you to police it with gummies, I think is going to be impossible. Under the smoke, you can see it, but that's not your fault that the state didn't think it through, and this is a one-time deal. I will vote yes on this. So good luck
Thank
to
you,
you, and I
Joe.
wish you the best.
Really appreciate it.
Okay, motion carries, so Sean will have the letter, or
Yeah, actually,
Sean
asked
will
to
do
put on town letterhead, but I emailed
Okay.
it to Morgan, so she can put on letterhead.
It's all signed.
What, is a fax or an email copy okay? Perfect. I'm sure we'll be able to get it to you.
And good luck with it.
Thank you for your time, everybody.
Thank you.
Yes,
Good night.
indeed. You're all welcome to attend if you'd like to. Have a great evening.
Okay, we'll move forward to privilege of the floor. Yeah, please state your name and what you have.
Take care.
Hi, thank you for listening to me. My name is Jim McIver. I own the property at 71 North Road.
Okay.
I'm going to read something right from your website, so you're smiling, maybe you're familiar.
I'm not sure where you're going.
Okay, so Building Department website, Latin, Salus Populi Suprema Lex Esto. Health and safety and welfare of the public is the highest law. This is what I have to endure.
Is this the property next to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've
The
been-
former McEntee property.
Yeah.
I've submitted to the building department numerous complaints about this. There was some action, but it's stalled. Nothing's happening.
Is that the one that we?
Yes.
Paid to clean up? What happened? I
Well,
thought
that was, we paid to clean up 9 commercial. This is the one, there's been an estate battle going on, and somebody started cleaning it up, they started again, they stopped, so it looks like they haven't finished, so we have to go back after them.
There was somebody there loading a rental
Well,
truck
the other day, yeah.
out the front
I see the
door
picture
the
of
other
that.
day.
Yeah, it's just, it's
69,
not,
69 North
59.
Road. 69. 69 North Road. I know where it's at.
it's 69 North Road, right.
Yeah, there you go.
It's just not maintained. The trees have fallen down. I had to replace all of my fencing in the back.
I think, Jim, we are familiar with this property.
Okay.
And we have been through, so we will go back after it one more time, and if they don't clean it up this time, we'll clean it up. We've done that before, and then we'll put it on their tax bill.
Is
That's
there a
what we have to do.
pending, isn't there a
How-
pending environmental?
But there's a pending-
environmental issue or something?
There's a
How
pending
recent's that
DEC
picture?
issue.
Lenny,
too, yes.
let me ask you a question. This truck, is that considered a commercial vehicle?
Yeah, that should be
Yeah.
removed.
Yeah.
Because it's unregistered, but that's
There's
a commercial vehicle.
Truck
It's-
there, there's a camper, there's a boat.
It's
All of them,
unregistered, Jeff.
require
So it
registrations.
needs to be removed.
So there are more than 3, so there's a numerous violations of town code.
But how recent is that picture?
Oh, God. One day, like last Sunday, and then.
That was last Sunday, so those
and the
buckets are
Sunday
all
before
gone.
that. No, those
They're still
buckets
there.
are still there.
still there?
They're still there.
That's
I saw
exactly
them.
how it looks.
They're there now. They're
And in
there
fact, the woman comes and feeds the cats.
Right.
And the cats are probably the worst problem because it's a feral cat population. I've seen raccoons,
they're over there.
skunks.
Sean, so if we clean that up, because we have that law, we can put it on the taxes, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, I think, like I said, Dave said, this has been ongoing. I think what we have to do is check with Dave Barton what the status is, where you're at, but ultimately, yes.
Yeah.
If it's not
So-
cleaned up,
so-
you
so
have to
tomorrow-
notify 'em.
Tomorrow, I know Dave has been chasing it, Dave and Anthony have been chasing it, so I will check with them tomorrow and find out where they're at, and I'll get back to you, okay? And then our intent will be either they clean it up or we clean it up. If we clean it up, obviously we have to pay for it, send them a bill if they don't pay for
It's
it.
not just me, it's 67,
Look, I'm with you, I agree with
I'm going to
you.
let you know, when it comes time to vote on it, I'm going to recuse myself because I happen to own a piece of property on North Road. So, but you have,
So you're affected by it too? then?
that's why I'm not going to vote on it.
I mean, I'd either like to rent the property, I can never get a fair market value for it, nobody wants to live beside it. If I try to sell it, I'm screwed, I
Yeah.
mean, I love the house, it's beautiful, and I'm doing work on it now to fix it up,
We're familiar with it, they had plans like 3 times, and it looks like they haven't executed, so we will get on this one again tomorrow.
Right,
Okay.
I would really appreciate that, I have, there's a history, if you go back and look
Yeah.
at the files, back into the 1990s. And the woman is confrontational, she went after my wife the other day,
Hi, Lisa.
so that just has to stop.
Yeah.
This is my lovely wife, Lisa, and my wonderful daughter here, so.
We know Lisa from the Smart Growth Grant
Yeah,
stuff.
so, wise up or she'll hurt you. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, thank you. I will get back to you.
No, I appreciate that.
All right, I
So
appreciate
you do have my contact information, or Anthony does, so.
I think Anthony has
He
it,
has my
yes.
email address and
Okay.
everything, so.
No one.
And if not, you
no
can
one
reach my
lives there,
wife.
but they
No one lives
visit-
there, but they visit,
the
and
property.
You
and they
couldn't
were
live
supposed to
there.
be visiting, cleaning it up, but apparently they've stopped the cleaning part, so.
And they've, right, they've allowed it to, the windows are open, it's probably not habitable. I
No,
think
it's
the only
not.
thing, you're gonna have to tear
Can we-
that down. It should be condemned, no one should be allowed in there, so.
All right, thank you,
Thank you.
Jim.
Sorry you have to deal with that.
Yeah, sorry it's taking so long to get cleaned up.
There's an old saying, fences make
Yeah,
good
it's
neighbors.
been, you know, it's been that way since, they haven't lived there since the late 90s.
Yeah.
And, you know, he was a decent enough man, but his ex-wife was not a very nice person. I mean, I've almost had fistfights with her, so, and she's much larger than me, so I was afraid.
All right, we'll end the that. Thank you. I don't want to get into that part of it. Okay, anybody else for privilege to the floor?
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we'll move on to resolutions. Resolution A is to close the town parking lot next to Sell's Place on August 6, 2023, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. for the remembrance celebration of Natty Trapani.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all opposed? Okay, motion carried. Okay, Resolution B. You have to recuse on this one?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, Dave, this has been before us a lot of times, so you can really condense it.
Yep. Yep. This is, whereas Indian Ridge LLC and Leonard J. Auchmuty entered an agreement with the town. This is to extend his road improvement and drainage agreement. This is the Sixth Amendment. So, so now therefore be resolved that the agreement from November 5th, 2005 is amended as set forth in the Sixth Amendment. The building department has advised no permits other than the one allowed in the First Amendment will be issued without further agreement between the town, Indian Ridge, and Leonard J. Auchmuty.
How many years are we giving him for this?
It's 3.
What's the max we can give Sean?
Go as far as you want, but I think we've been doing 3, just.
Can we go 5? Because it just keeps coming.
I don't think you can go past 3, Joe. I think
You
that's-
sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what's in the code.
Your problem is you're binding future boards.
Right.
That's it.
Right. That's
Yeah,
why
all
I
right.
think you keep it at
That's
3.
fine then.
Yeah.
I just feel bad for him. They have to keep coming.
Yeah.
It's
And it's
doing
like
it.
it just runs, because actually we passed a resolution last year.
Last year.
I thought we voted on this already.
Yes, what happened was we passed it, but for some reason, the
It did-
agreement was never signed.
Right.
So this is to
I know.
ratify that agreement, but make it run from that date.
Right.
Can we make it from this date now?
No.
Can we just make it new?
Well, then you'll be missing a year. I don't know if you can do
That
that.
would have created a gap.
All right.
So it's unfortunate, but I think we move forward. So can I get a motion to
Motion.
extend this? Okay, second?
Second.
Okay, Wendy, do a roll call.
Right. Plavcheck,
Yes?
Auchmuty, abstain. Does he have to give a reason? Does he have to give a reason why he's abstaining?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you
Yeah,
have-
so you don't go through the nonsense. You should-
It's not nonsense.
I should.
Yeah, just say why you're abstaining.
Yeah.
It's my son.
Okay.
Mazzetti.
Yes.
Okay, motion carried 3-0. There's one last resolution that that we put second, and this is the CFA grants have to be in by August 11th, and we had done a resolution, we put the same grant in last year. This is the one for the refurbishing of the entire water plant. So we put in for a grant up to $8 million, and when you do that, you have to bond the whole amount. And then, when you get the grant, obviously, you don't use the bond. If we don't get the grant, we most likely won't do it.
Well, but actually, you're authorizing.
We're authorizing the bond, right? So this is the same one, the same as we did last year, only we had to, last year, we just did the match portion, and this year we're doing the full amount because they changed the rules at CFA. So the bond resolution is appropriating $8 million for the increase and improvement of $8.837.4 million for the increase and improvement of facilities of the Highland Water District, and authorizing issues of bond in the principal amount of $8,837,400 to set the appropriation. And again, the town board appropriates this amount for the increased improvements facilities of the Highland Water District for various improvements, including, machinery, upgrades, equipment. The estimated cost is, and financing is the $8.8 million. The plan includes the issuance of bonds to the town to finance, collection of charges from water, metering, assessment, levy collections on several lots and parcels within the district. Town expects that grants and/or other funds will be able to pay all or part of the cost of the projects. Any funds received from grants will hereby authorize offset this, applied towards the cost of the project redemption of town notes issued therefore. All of the part of the cost project may be financed through the New York State Environmental Facilities Corporation pursuant to the WIIA and other source of funding. The supervisor and his designate hereby authorized to submit any necessary applications, which is the grant application, on behalf of the town and perform any and all necessary acts or required to arrange the financing of the project through bonds, notes, loans, grants, and other sources. Section 2 basically calls out Chapter 33. Section 3 is, again, the period would be 40 years. Proceeds be for the reimbursed town for expenditures. And Section 4 is the is issuing these in anticipation of what the town work and the grants, etc. I'll read. I don't think I have to read all of this. It's written here. The validity. So therefore, the resolution shall take effect immediately after the town clerk is hereby authorized to direct to publish the foregoing bond resolution summary in the Mid-Hudson Post-Pioneer. Is that right? That's not right. The Southern Ulster Times. We'll change that.
That's how old this resolution is.
Southern Ulster Times. I've never even heard of that paper.
Which
Yeah,
one?
it's Southern Ulster Times.
Mid-Hudson Post-Pioneer.
Yeah,
that's-
yeah, that's when the kids are in
That's
school.
Scoop.
Yeah.
That was
A
Scoop.
newspaper providing general circulation of town, newspaper designated official newspaper of the town, and together with the town clerk's notice and form prescribed in Section 81. So can I get a motion to?
Motion.
Move this? Aquaman, can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, you want to do a roll call, Wendy?
Sure.
Any discussion?
Yeah, any discussion? Nobody's
So
said anything.
without the grant, I mean,
Yeah,
it
Go ahead.
just, then it's null and void, right?
without the, well, we wouldn't.
It's not
actually
null and
fund.
void, it's we don't have to build it.
If we get a partial grant,
Then we
stay
would,
there,
then we would,
the difference,
the difference, correct.
up to, not to exceed.
Not to exceed that, correct.
If we got a partial grant, we could then decide if we wanted to do it.
What's that?
We got a partial.
We have to decide.
We'd have to decide if we want to do it.
We have to, always have to decide if we want to accept the grant.
Right,
Right, that's right.
So all we're doing is putting ourselves in a situation we can get a grant, John.
Correct, correct. And they actually changed the rules. Margaret and I found out of the CFA grants this year. Last year, all you had to do was do a resolution saying you're going to put a bond, you're going to go for a bond to do the match.
I know.
Now you have to bond the whole amount and then subtract from it. So I don't know why they changed it this year, but they did. Any other discussion?
No, we're good.
Yep, Farina,
Yes.
Plopcheck,
Yes.
Akmoody,
Yes.
Mazzetti.
Yes.
Okay, motion carried. Any other discussions?
I'd like to just ask you to go into attorney-client.
Okay.
For a minute.
Okay.
Motion. We have to vote to go into executive session? Yeah, so motion,
Joe motion, can I get a second?
It could be executive session, or it could be attorney-client. Executive session is
Okay.
fine.
Fredo, second it.
Would be
No.
litigation. We're gonna discuss some,
Okay.
pending litigation with the board.
All in favor?
aye.
Okay, we're going to go into attorney-client privilege. Yep.
Thank you.
Good night, thank you very much.
So these guys got Dawes agreed to take these buckets, $375. That's cheap.
So you know, just so you know, I had, on one of my properties, a 55-gallon bar. This much way on the bottom. Person that owns the property, that apple has too high, and the rain filled with 55 gallons. The oil comes out the top, of this much oil, so.
I don't believe it.
You don't get the key here.
What's that?
Screwed in. 40,000.
Somebody called DEC on you?
I had to do, I was buying property from them.
Oh, okay.
My bank required phase 2 environmental.
Yeah, I got
I'm gonna be on.
But we usually get a 9-inch. These are 7-inch. That's why we get
I
a
looked at it, well, that's something else. If I are in the same area.
Right, and that's,
Well, I- once
you
you buy
said
it-
that, I knew I had a couple of dimes.
So once you buy it, the more your problem, it don't matter.
All right, we leave here?